Welcome to the Lucky Health Channel. I'm so happy you've joined our health community today. We're about to explore some truly valuable health knowledge, and I promise your body will thank you for it. If you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's like joining our big health-loving family. And a quick like on this video will give us even more motivation to keep sharing helpful videos with more wonderful people like you. Thank you. You know, people often say that losing vision is just a natural part of getting older, something we can't avoid. But after more than 30 years working with patients over 60, I've come to realize something different. Aging isn't a sentence for your eyesight. It's simply a time when your eyes need smarter care. I want you to picture this. You're reading your favorite book, but the words start to blur like fog creeping across your glasses. Or maybe you're watching your grandkids play and their little faces begin to fade like an unfinished painting. Have you ever felt that way? One of my patients, Lusan, 62 years old, once sighed and told me, "Doctor, I'm scared that one day I won't be able to see the faces of the people I love anymore." And I truly understand that fear. Because in reality, most vision loss doesn't come just from time, it comes from silent inflammation and a lack of the nutrients our eyes need to heal and protect themselves. What really breaks my heart is this: so many people are spending hundreds, even thousands of dollars on eye drops, new glasses, or complex procedures, when the answer might be sitting quietly in their breakfast bowl. Yes, small, humble seeds. Backed by modern science, some of these tiny powerhouses have been shown to slow down macular degeneration, improve vision, and even reverse retinal damage when used correctly. In this video, I'm going to share with you 9 incredible seeds, the silent gatekeepers of healthy aging eyes. Some you might already know, but may be underestimating. Others might completely surprise you. But trust me, once you understand them, you'll never look at these little seeds the same way again. Have you ever noticed your vision getting blurrier in the late afternoon? Especially when you're driving around sunset, the light starts to fade, and everything in front of you just seems to lose focus, like a thin fog settling over the world. It reminds me of an old patient of mine, Mr. Barold, 65 years old, a retired long-haul truck driver. He once told me, "Doc, I used to drive hundreds of miles without blinking an eye, but now by 5 p.m. I'm squinting and still can't see clearly." At first he thought it was just age catching up with him, but after a thorough checkup, I realized his eyes were lacking key anti-inflammatory nutrients, making his retina more vulnerable to light damage and oxidative stress. So I suggested something incredibly simple. Just add 5 to 6 walnuts to his breakfast every morning. No pills, no surgery. Just a familiar little nut, packed with ALA omega-3s and powerful polyphenols, 2 nutrients known to fight inflammation and protect the retina and optic nerve from age-related decline. 2 months later, Mr. Barold came back, and his smile said it all. "My eyes don't feel dry and tired anymore," he told me. "When I drive in the evenings now, I can read the signs again. No more blurry mess like before." That change didn't come from a miracle. It came from nourishment, from giving the body what it truly needs to function at its best. Walnuts small, yes, but a mighty ally for aging eyes. And maybe, just maybe, the difference between a stressful afternoon and one where you feel confident behind the wheel again. Have you ever noticed, the older we get, the more our eyes seem to fear the dark? That hazy twilight, those bright headlights on the road, or even the dim corners inside our own home, suddenly they feel more uncomfortable, more disorienting. Some people describe it as a veil over their vision, especially once they hit their 60s. I remember Mr. Maha, a kind 70-year-old retired engineer. He came in one day and quietly said, "Doc, I can't see clearly when I step outside in the evening, even in my own backyard." After taking a closer look at his diet, we realized he was missing something critical for eye health: vitamin E. And you know what? One of the easiest, most natural sources of this antioxidant is something you can find in nearly any grocery store: sunflower seeds. These little seeds are packed with powerful antioxidants that shield your retina from free radicals, those silent wreckers that slowly wear down the macula over time. Just 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds a day. That's all it took. After 2 months of this simple change, Mr. Maha came back with a light in his eyes. "I don't feel that same sensitivity to the dark anymore," he said. "Walking around the yard in the evening feels easier. And the best part, I've started driving at night again without feeling nervous." The science backs this up, too. Research shows that getting enough vitamin E through foods like sunflower seeds can reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration by up to 25% over 10 years. That's not a small number, and it's a powerful reminder that small changes to what we eat today can preserve the light we see for many years to come. Have you ever heard of a tiny spice that's been called red gold in traditional medicine? I'm talking about saffron, not just a cooking ingredient, but a powerful natural remedy with a special gift for aging eyes. At my clinic, I once had a patient named Mr. Abra, 69 years old, a former painter. His entire life was built around color, light, and fine detail. But then his eyes began to betray the very thing he loved most. He was diagnosed with dry macular degeneration, a condition that slowly blurs your central vision. He could no longer clearly see his grandson's face, couldn't read the newspapers he once loved, and couldn't even distinguish his favorite colors anymore. We suggested something simple but promising: a natural supplement of saffron, 20 milligrams a day. But not just any saffron, it had to be the standardized kind, rich in crocin and quercetin, the 2 powerful compounds that help revive the photoreceptor cells in the retina. And then, something beautiful started to happen. Just 6 weeks in, he told us he could finally see the intricate patterns on his prayer mat again. 3 months later, he could recognize the faces of loved ones, read small print again, and in his words, "The colors in my world felt lit up once more." Science supports this, too. A study published in the British Journal of Ophthalmology found that saffron significantly improved retinal sensitivity and visual sharpness in AMD patients after just 3 months of consistent use. Saffron isn't magic, but with the right dose and a little patience, it might just be the spark your eyes need. So if your vision has been fading with age, maybe it's time to listen to what your body is telling you, and start with something as small and powerful as saffron. Have you ever heard of an omega-6 that doesn't cause inflammation, but actually soothes the delicate nerves in your eyes. Most people know about omega-3s, but very few are aware of a special kind of omega-6 called GLA gamma-linolenic acid. And hemp seeds are one of the rare natural sources of this powerful anti-inflammatory. I'll never forget Mr. Davis, a 65-year-old retired newspaper editor who came into my clinic with worry written all over his face. He said, "Doctor, it feels like I'm losing my vision from the sides, like I'm seeing the world through a tunnel." We ran the tests. It was early-stage glaucoma, a quiet, creeping disease that damages the optic nerve, and if not managed properly, can slowly steal your sight. But here's what many don't realize. Glaucoma isn't just about high eye pressure. It's about the health of the optic nerve itself, the fragile pathway that carries visual information from your eyes to your brain. And this is where GLA shines. Research published in Current Eye Research found that GLA could reduce optic nerve damage by up to 28% in just 90 days of consistent use. So, we made one small change: 2 tablespoons of shelled hemp seeds with his breakfast. Sprinkled over toast, blended into smoothies, or stirred into oatmeal. Simple, easy, nothing fancy. 2 months later, his eye pressure had dropped slightly. But what struck me most was what he said to me, "Doc, I feel like I'm fighting the disease now, not just waiting for the meds to work." That's exactly what I want you to understand. Taking care of your eyes in your 60s doesn't have to begin with pills or surgery. Sometimes it starts with a spoonful of hemp seeds and the powerful decision to take control of your own health. Because protecting your vision isn't just about your eyes, it's about your freedom, your confidence, and the quality of your life. Have you ever felt eye strain while reading? Even when the lighting is good and your glasses are the right prescription, one of my patients, Ms. Liley, 64 years old, once told me, "Doctor, every page feels like it's covered in a thin fog. I read so slowly now, and my eyes get tired so fast." She used to be a teacher. Reading was her joy. But the clear, sharp vision she once had, it was slowly slipping away. When I looked into her nutrition, I discovered she was low in zinc, a tiny mineral often overlooked, but incredibly important for the eyes. Zinc is essential for moving vitamin A to the retina, the part of the eye that processes light and images. It also helps your body produce melanin, a protective pigment that shields the eyes from harmful blue light and oxidative stress. What many people don't realize is that zinc deficiency is surprisingly common after age 60, especially in those with simple diets or poor nutrient absorption. Instead of turning to medications right away, I suggested something very gentle. Each morning she added just a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds to her oatmeal. Simple, easy, no drastic changes. 3 months later, she came back with a bright smile and said, "Now I can read through several chapters without having to stop." And she's not alone. Studies have shown that increasing zinc intake can reduce the risk of developing advanced macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of blindness in older adults, by as much as 21%. I'm sharing her story with you because I want you to see sometimes something as small as a handful of seeds can make a big difference for your eyes, especially when what you're fighting for isn't just to see clearly, but to keep seeing for as long as possible with the full light and color of life in your later years. Have you ever felt like your eyes were red, dry, and itchy by the end of the day, almost as if they had just gone through a long, exhausting journey? One of my patients, Mrs. Eleanor, 71 years old, came to see me with exactly that complaint. She said, "Every afternoon, my eyes start to burn, like there's sand in them. I keep using eye drops, but nothing seems to help." When I took a closer look at her diet, I noticed something that I've seen often: she was lacking in antioxidants, especially one called glutathione. Now, glutathione is like a natural shield. It protects the cells in your eyes from free radical damage. But here's the key: your body can't make enough of it without selenium, a trace mineral most people don't pay much attention to. So where can you get a gentle, natural dose of selenium that works especially well for older adults? Surprisingly, black sunflower seeds. Yes, the ones many of us think of as just a snack. But they're packed with vitamin E, selenium, and healthy fats that boost blood flow to the eyes, reduce dryness, and ease irritation. I had Mrs. Eleanor start eating just 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, lightly roasted, unsalted black sunflower seeds mixed into plain yogurt after lunch. And within just 3 weeks, she came back with a clearer gaze and said, "I can still read the paper in the afternoon. Now no more stinging, no more itching." Sometimes we chase solutions in medications, but forget that the body already knows how to heal as long as we give it the right tools, the right support, at the right time. And sometimes something as small as a spoonful of sunflower seeds is enough to bring comfort and clarity back to tired eyes. Have you ever looked at a page in a book and seen little black spots floating across your vision, like something drifting between you and the world? That's exactly what Mr. Bernard, 62 years old, and a former warehouse manager described to me during our first appointment. He said, "I can still read, but it feels like there are tiny flies buzzing around inside my eyes. It's really annoying." After a thorough checkup, we discovered the early signs of diabetic retinopathy, a condition where the tiny blood vessels in the retina begin to weaken, leak, or swell. This is something I often see in older adults whose blood sugar levels tend to fluctuate. Now, instead of only turning to medication, I suggested he add something simple but surprisingly powerful to his diet: black sesame seeds. Black sesame seeds are rich in vitamin B1, zinc, and powerful antioxidants like sesamin. These nutrients help protect and repair the delicate blood vessels that feed the retina, one of the most sensitive areas in the eye. They also support microcirculation and help reduce mild inflammation around the eyes, which is especially helpful for people living with diabetes. I recommended he take just 1 spoonful of roasted black sesame seeds each day, either mixed with honey or sprinkled over his evening porridge. 8 weeks later, Mr. Bernard came back with a gentle smile and said, "I still notice a few spots when I move my eyes quickly, but it's much better now. And most importantly, I'm not as worried anymore." You see, sometimes what brings relief to our eyes isn't found in a prescription bottle. It's found in knowledge and in small everyday foods that, when used wisely, can quietly change the way we see the world. Have you ever felt like your eyes were just drying out by the afternoon? Like that natural layer of tears that once protected them is slowly disappearing. One of my patients, a 70-year-old retired bus driver, once told me, "By late afternoon, my eyes start burning like there's sand in them." The eye drops help for a bit, but then they're dry again right after. After examining him, I found that his eyes were perfectly healthy in terms of structure, but clearly he was dealing with age-related dry eye, something I see very often in people over 60. And instead of prescribing yet another round of artificial tears, I asked him a simple question. Have you ever tried flax seeds? Flax seeds are an excellent source of ALA, a plant-based form of omega-3 fatty acids. ALA helps reduce inflammation on the surface of the eye, improves the quality of your tear film, and protects the delicate eye cells from oxidative damage. But here's the key: they need to be ground up to be absorbed properly. Whole flax seeds often just pass through your system. So I suggested Mr. Youssef add a spoonful of ground flax seeds to his morning oatmeal or yogurt. 1 month later, he came back with a very different smile. I don't need the eye drops anymore, he said, and my eyes don't feel dry or tired in the afternoons like they used to. A simple change. One little seed. But the impact? Remarkable. And that's what I want you to see, that sometimes taking care of aging eyes doesn't come from a prescription, but from understanding your body and choosing to nourish it gently and consistently with small things that make a big difference. Have you ever felt like your eyes are just getting a little lazy, not quite as sharp as they used to be? Maybe they feel dry, irritated, or just tired, especially when you're doing something delicate like reading or sewing. One of my patients, Helen, 71 years old, used to love embroidery. But one day, she told me with a bit of sadness in her voice, "I can't thread a needle anymore. My vision blurs, and my eyes sting even when I sit under bright light." We ran a full checkup. No serious eye disease, thankfully. But we did see signs of mild inflammation in her retina and chronic dry eyes, something incredibly common in people over 60. Instead of handing her a prescription, I suggested something simple: a tiny but powerful seed, chia seeds. Chia seeds are packed with ALA, a plant-based omega-3, that helps calm hidden inflammation in the retina. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful antioxidants that act like internal sunglasses, protecting your retinal cells from blue light and oxidative damage. I told her to soak 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in warm water or blend them into her smoothie every morning. 6 weeks later, she returned smiling, with a hand-stitched napkin in her hand. "I can see each thread clearly again," she said. "It's been so long since I felt this joy." And that's when it really hit me. Sometimes what helps us see clearly again isn't a stronger lamp or a new pair of glasses. It's the quiet support from the right nutrients, at the right time, in the simplest of forms. You know, many people believe that losing their eyesight is just a natural part of aging. But the truth is, it's not simply age that weakens our eyes. It's the silent inflammation and nutrient deficiencies that build up slowly, quietly, day after day, meal after meal, choice after choice. The 9 little seeds I've just shared with you aren't magic. They're real nutritional science backed by research, and more importantly, by the real-life stories of patients I've cared for. They won't replace your doctor, but they can be powerful allies in your journey to protect your vision, especially after 60. And no, I'm not saying you need to eat all of them starting today. Just pick one. Start with a small, simple habit. One daily step toward caring for your eyes, not waiting until the damage is already done. Because your eyes, they're the windows through which you see the world. They are how you watch your grandchildren grow, how you notice the little joys around you each day. Start today, and your eyes will thank you for it in the years to come. And if you've stayed with me all the way to the end of this video, I believe it's not just because you're listening, but because you truly care about and value your own eyesight. Because when we realize that good health doesn't come from complicated things, but from small, consistent choices we make every day, everything begins to change. I hope that after today's video, you'll look at these tiny seeds with new eyes, not just as food, but as gentle, powerful medicine from nature, quietly protecting your vision and your precious independence in your later years. If something I shared today touched you, give me a like, so I know you're still here with me, walking this path toward living healthier, stronger, and more intentionally each day. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button now, so every week we can meet again and explore more simple, practical, and meaningful knowledge for life after 60. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, may your eyes stay bright, your heart stay kind, and your mind stay clear on this journey of taking care of yourself. This video is for informational purposes only. Please consult your doctor before making any changes to your health routine.